talking about with this whole luxury business. I want to talk about this cyber attack on the pipeline for the Southeast here in the United States, and how maybe some of our perceptions are a little off about this. I think this is a lot worse than what people realize. I mean, you know, we like to think of it as some kind of like, oh, it's just a cyber attack, you know, it's an inconvenience, but it's just a cyber attack, you know, it's not like a bomb went off. But in reality, it is. I mean, the United States military has spent a lot of money in research and development to come up with smart bombs so they can target with pinpoint accuracy, I mean, you know, infrastructure and that sort of thing, so that there's less collateral damage. Now, what's the difference between blowing up a pipeline to take it out and, you know, with a smart bomb so that people don't get killed, and taking it out in this way with a cyber attack? We're looking at an actual attack on the United States mainland by a foreign country, Russia, apparently. It looks like it was a group in Russia. So again, I want to say, you know, what's the difference between that and hitting something with a smart bomb? We were just attacked by Russia. Let that sink in. This is no different than being hit with a smart bomb. It's just easier for them to do because apparently our government is incompetent and doesn't prepare for this sort of thing. So yeah, there you go. The United States has just been attacked by Russia. Literally. And, you know, people could die as a result of this. There are people lining up trying to get gas. I know Twitter says that there's not a gas shortage, but yeah, there is. For those people there, you know, what if there's not gas for the ambulance? What if something like that happens? Imagine the prices that are going to go up as a result of this. You know, transportation costs are going to be through the roof because of rising gas prices on top of the inflation that we are here to talk about today. But of course, before I get into that, I have to do a little bit of self-promotion. Because, hey, if I don't, then nobody else is going to. And it doesn't matter how you complain, I am going to be doing the self-promotions. You know, I actually don't know why we do the self-promotion, but hey, let's give it a try. If you're watching this and you're enjoying it, be sure to hit the like button. Also, if you enjoy it, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And now let's get into this whole thing with the luxuries. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm not talking about the kind of luxuries we're used to with, you know, like opting for the leather package in the car or something like that. Now, what I'm talking about are things like not having street vendors all over the streets in our American cities. A lot of you are probably thinking, well, I don't think of that as a luxury, but it actually is in a couple of different ways. You see, we have gotten used to having, you know, for working class people, pretty good paying jobs for a long time. But over the last 40 years, those have been in decline to the point now where, you know, we don't really have them anymore and people are struggling. Now, imagine what is going to happen if hyperinflation hits and if Joe Biden's policies continue to bite. You're going to see even less of that. I'm particularly worried about retired people, people living on fixed incomes, pensions, that sort of thing. I don't know how, I mean, if this hyperinflation thing hits, there's not going to be enough money in those funds to be able to cover this, you know, to be able to cover your costs anymore. What are they going to do? What are people that are used to having a good income from, you know, working class jobs, what are they going to do? I know people are all about, you know, raising the minimum wage at McDonald's and that sort of thing, but come on, are we all going to go work at McDonald's now? Is that really what we're supposed to do? That's just not realistic. Now, in times past, a long time ago, because they've gotten rid of this, you know, in recent times, you could have said, well, you know, I've got some stuff at home. Maybe I can make a few bucks by cooking up some cookies or snacks and selling it on the street. Well, you can't do that in America because they have too many rules in our cities. You just can't do it. You're stuck. And even in cities where you can, you know, in New York, I understand it's like $200 to get the thing to be able to have a street car or whatever to sell food. But guess what? In reality, there aren't enough of them to go around, so it ends up costing $20,000. Now, if you're sitting at home without work, without income, I really don't think that, you know, $20,000 is going to be realistic. And in most cities, you can't do it anyway. You have to only be able to do your street vendor stuff or selling food in that capacity at special events. And, well, Special events don't happen all the time. It's not like every day there's a festival, not like in China. But in China, I can go into any city pretty much, and especially now they've backed off on trying to get rid of these things because they came to their senses. I can go into any city and there'll be people selling snacks, food, whatever on the streets. And these are people that don't have special skills. They'd be typically what we would think of as the working class, factory workers, that sort of thing. And it's a way for them to climb out of poverty. It's a way for them to take care of their family when there is no other option. But in America, we don't have that option because we've gotten used to that luxury. And another way that it's a luxury, a lot of our city leaders and people have voted for these ordinances that ban them from the streets. So if I walk around any of the streets of a typical American city, I'm not going to find this sort of thing. Except I know in New York they have it. And in some places they have designated areas. But come on, it's just not going to work out. We need to set people free. And I don't mean specifically just street vendors, but that's a good option for somebody if they find themselves in a difficult spot. They can go sell something on the street if they have to, whatever it is. But right now our hands are tied. So not only do you not have a job, you don't have adequate income, but you can't do anything about it. You're just stuck. And like I said, those are some luxuries we're going to have to start to do without. Some of these regulations that, in my opinion, are actually not designed to help people. I know they like to say, well, not having street vendors and having all these regulations about requiring a separate commercial kitchen and inspections is to protect your health. Well, I don't need the government to tell me what to do for my health. If I want to eat street food, then I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to look at it and judge for myself, I think that I'm intelligent enough for that. But that's a luxury we're going to have to do without if we're going to be able to succeed, if we're going to be able to climb out of this hole that the politicians and the ultra elite, whatever you want to call them, I don't think they're very elite. They think they are. Anyway, the mess that they have created for us. Just my thoughts starting off here. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about what we can expect if we don't make these changes coming up here. So enjoy the ride until we get to Logan in West Virginia, so you can see the fate that we have if we don't. You guys caught me singing in the car. Anyway, yeah, you know what? I swear that song, it's not about West Virginia. I should know because I'm from the real Virginia, the Virginia, where we do have the Shenandoah River and the Blue Ridge Mountains. In fact, the Shenandoah River was right next to my home, within walking distance. Same with the Blue Ridge Trail and all of that. Anyway, welcome to Logan, West Virginia. Population somewhere around 1,300. A long way from its heyday back in 1940 when this place had about 5,000 people. And it continues to decline all the time. It's kind of deceiving to see all of this, these beautiful brick buildings and things in town. Kind of gives you the impression that the place is bigger than what it is. And it once was. County seat of Logan County. Sorry. Oh, jeez. There goes the camera. It's still recording. County seat of Logan County, West Virginia. It's a little deceptive with all these beautiful brick buildings and the Bentley that just went by. It looks like a much bigger town with a lot more going on than it actually has. But as you'll see in a moment, once I get up on the hills and look down over these beautiful brick buildings, a lot of them are not in as good of condition as you would expect. As you can tell from this pile of rubble off to the side. The town has seen better days. But like I say, it looks like something when you're driving through. If you were on the road, you might come through here and think, oh, I've happened upon a nice little town. But sadly, things in Logan are not as good as they once were. Now I bring this up because, well, this is the fate that all American towns will face if things continue the way that they have been for the last 40 years. I know there was an attempted reversal of that with Donald Trump, but the reversal has been reversed, as they say. So now we're faced with this problem. Declining populations in your hometown, and fewer jobs to go around, fewer good paying jobs for working class individuals. Here I am standing up here on the hills above the town, and you can really get an idea looking at the tops of these brick buildings, the condition they're actually in. Just crumbling, they're completely rotted inside, not much left, some of them have burned. You can see that this town has really suffered as a result of the decline in the coal industry. And, you know, it's really no different than a lot of other Rust Belt places. This is what the entire country can kind of expect as things continue to decline. And our current government certainly seems to be in a hurry to see it happen, to just see the total collapse. Also, as further developments happen with new technologies like 5G, automation, artificial intelligence, we're really seeing some big changes, and I'm afraid that this is what we could see if we don't figure things out soon. Well, here I am on the main street. You can see it looks pretty active, but a lot of these buildings are for sale, and a lot of them are actually, well, they're kind of crumbling. Kind of a neat town anyway, very pretty environment. Kind of sad to see the way that it's going. So how exactly are we supposed to fix these kinds of problems? With our towns and cities falling apart as they are, I think the government's half right with this universal basic income, but I think it's only half the picture. I think that they need to give us that, as well as remove all the restrictions on business, so that people are free to do something for themselves in hard times. Otherwise, they're just going to leave town in search of better opportunities. And before you know it, your hometown will no longer exist. Well, I guess that about does it for that. Again, I think that a lot needs to change in the country before anything is going to be fixed. Hopefully, you know, it's doubtful. I don't think that the politicians are interested in removing regulations that gives them too much power. But honestly, that's what I think needs to happen. I think the American people need to be set free so that they can do whatever it is that they have to do in order to survive what's coming. And we're just going to have to give up those luxuries, you know. We're used to not having to worry about street vendors and that sort of thing. Well, those times are at an end. I'm afraid they are, anyway. I don't see a lot of good paying jobs coming. I think that maybe universal basic income at a very small level would be helpful, you know, just give people the boost that they need. But it's going to have to be done in a way where you get it no matter what, and, you know, it's not like you go to work, then it just means you're going to have more money, you know, it's not you're going to get cut off. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you make it work exactly. I haven't given it a lot of thought, but something needs to happen. But even beyond this universal basic income, I think that it's going to be important for all of these regulations to be removed and to just let freedom work. Let free market work the way it should. I mean, well, it's not all black and white, I suppose. I mean, you have to protect us from monopolies. We can see what is happening with monopolies with social media companies right now and how they can control everything. You have Amazon and Walmart pretty much controlling everything that's going on commerce-wise. That needs to be put to a stop. But the regular people, small businesses, that needs to be set free. Otherwise, this economy is just going to die, and whatever these big companies think is going to happen, it's not going to work the way that they think. So I'll leave it at that. Again, like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed the show, and I will see you guys in the next one.